Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 22 in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Watkins Glen International to cap off Lake Effect Ice Cream Super Weekend here from Watkins Glen. All of the races up to this point have been fantastic, from the Hearst Elimination Series finale to the Craftsman Throwback Series finale to the Rockstar Pro Series race, and then the duels in the IndyCar Series. Those were probably the most fantastic ones we've had so far, at least up until now. And if you remember last year's race, we had a last corner pass here at Watkins Glen. We might just see something more of the same here today. Of course, Nathan Baird has been dominating in the championship battle, but I'm going to ask you, Marty. He starts deep in the field, 38th for this race here today. What do these drivers behind him, 71, 78 points behind, need to do to catch up to him before the end of the season?
All I gotta say is you just gotta be consistent up front, remain up front, and you need to hope for the best for what happens when it comes to Nathan Baird. Whether it's got to be aggressive, placing defense on him, or you just got to hope for the best that he gets involved in a wreck or he blows up out of nowhere. I'm not too sure. As for this race, as you said, he starts deep from the back. We're at Watkins Glen today, which is, in my opinion, it's one of the toughest tracks to possibly gain spots out here, especially being that far from the back. I mean, passing is possible. But coming all the way from the back to the front, you may need to get a lot of wrecks out there. And I believe as well, because we're at a road course, caution-free.
And Marty is right. We are caution-free on the road courses, but we will have pit stops in this race, probably 2 of them throughout the day. So that'll definitely affect the strategy. It's either going to be 1 or 2. We'll definitely figure that out as the race goes along. But we mentioned Nathan Baird. Here's how they lined up in the points. 617 points for Nathan Baird. Emily Anderson, 71 points behind him. Sebastian Coulon is 78 points behind. Matthew Phillips doing a great job this season, 87 points behind. Justin Roberts, 96 points behind. That's the top 5. Of course, the championship battle in the IndyCar Series is much better. I'm going to pitch the Pocono race 2 Eastern now once again, because you're definitely going to want to watch that championship. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But right here, we could be seeing Nathan Baird clinching the championship a couple of races early. We're going to go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from the Watkins Glen International. The last race of the weekend. We've seen so many great races up to this point. We're going to see another great one here today with Mark Davidson in the number 95. Leading the field to the green flag on the inside lane. The inside lane, however, as we saw, especially with the IndyCar Series, doesn't usually get the best of jumps on the start. So, an outside lane may be what you want to watch out for, but either way, I'm going to be focusing on where Nathan Baird finishes here today. That's going to be a very interesting scenario. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets the race victory, and it starts with Mark Davidson, the pole sitter here for the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. Alongside him, it's Silas Orta in the number 88. I know you're going to be cheering him on here at your home racetrack. Of course, Beast Racing, one of the few teams yet to get a win this season. They did a very good job last year, but this season they are winless up to this point. But they got a couple of their guys starting inside the top 12 with a shot at the race victory. Silas Orta on the outside pole. Ace Garcia in the number 81 alongside Julius Anderson in row number 2. Teammates for Hamill Racing Enterprises right there. And of course, their teammate Seth Cole won the last time we had a points-paying race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series at Nashville 2 weeks ago. Patrick Smith going for his 3rd win of the season. Only he, Nathan Baird, and Seth Cole have won multiple races so far this season. Patrick Smith looking to become the first driver to win 3 races this year. He's alongside Matt Dalio in the number 79. Wyatt Quayle and Diego Yepes, teammates at Full Frontal Motorsports. Then you got John Arndt and Brad Stover in row number 5. So I'm going to ask you, Marty, a lot of guys can win this race here today. Who do you think is going to have the best shot at the race victory in the last road course race of the season?
Well, because Watkins Glen International is one of the few tracks where we run clockwise, I'd say watch out for that inside row. I go with that 66 car, Patrick Smith, who starts in the 5th position today. Watch out for him. But 2 other drivers that catch my eye in the inside row, the 05 of John Arndt, who has done so good this year when it comes to wins. I think he's got 2 this season. And then behind him, Zachary Fitzwater, who's pretty good on road courses as well. I don't mean to be biased there, but looks like we're ready to go green here.
We are. Of course, John, a one-time winner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this year, also won the Freedom 50. He might get his second win of the season, but we don't know until the checkered flag flies. Green flag in the air, the final race of Lake Effect Ice Cream Super Weekend is green from Watkins Glen. As they head down the back straightaway, Silas Orta got the jump on the outside. I know you said that inside might be the place to watch, but that inside lane has a very difficult time getting a jump on the start. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, we've seen that all weekend. The outside lane is 1, 2, 3 right now with Silas Orta, Julius Anderson, and Matt Dallio. Of course, Matt Dallio in a battle right now with Mark Davidson. That is for the third position. Here comes Julius Anderson trying to get a run on Silas Orta for the race lead, and he might get that inside lane to work.
Yeah, you saw the 88 car get tight up there in that corner. Can try to open the door here for the 22 of Anderson to try and take the lead, but he's going to wait probably until the next corner here to do it here. You know, or maybe even turn 10 or turn 11, because those are the best passing zones here in Sector 3.
Of course, the best place to pass on the racetrack is probably the carousel, turn 5, and turn 7 in the boot. Those are the best places to pass. Of course, you can tell these guys go a lot slower than they do in the Indy cars, but you got to watch out for this corner right here. Matt Dallio on the outside lane, going to go a little wide.
Contact.
Nothing drastic right there. Mitchell Henderson, however, tapped the outside wall, and he's going to lose a little bit of ground as Silas Orta gets a bonus point towards the championship for leading lap number 1. In the wall, Seth Cole, Nicholas Amadeo as well.
Shot there for the 48, Amadeo.
And both of those guys with heavy damage off of turn number 1. And our first incident of the day between two veteran drivers, Nicholas Amadeo and Seth Cole. They both were deep in the field to start this one. And looks like that's where they're going to finish, unfortunately. Seth Cole trying to win his home racetrack here in his third win of the season. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here today in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. And we got to move right here. Mark Davidson on Matt Dallio. These guys have been battling for third pretty much this entire run. And now Davidson to the inside for the third position. But now Dallio's going to have the advantage as they enter turn number 6.
It's been a great battle royale we've seen so far here for that third spot on the podium. Dallio's got it after the guy in fourth got very tight. And now we see some single file racing. You got to go back to, I think that's the battle for ninth there.
Between Wyatt Quayle and Mitchell Henderson.
Yes.
But Julius Anderson staying really close to Silas Orta, but I know you're cheering Silas Orta on. What are your tips to Silas Orta to hold on to this win?
Don't lock up. That's all I gotta say. Don't lock up. Don't lock up and don't get tight.
This is one of the best places to get tight, though. I'm going to tell you that much. We see that happen quite a bit here at Watkins Glen. You know, it's interesting. I just recorded the IndyCar race about a couple hours ago. And those guys go so much faster. It's almost like there's a problem with these guys compared to the IndyCars. But, you know, that's just the way the Cup guys go. And that's what makes the racing very interesting. Oh, there you go. He got tight. That's the thing. You get tight through turn 11. That is the trouble spot. And to the inside, Julius Anderson. And in the wall. Stapleton around. And we got a lot of carnage going on back in there.
Calamity Alley.
Cody still around, Sebastian Kukulon, Lucas Jacobson, Tristan Allen is all torn up, and look at who gained a lot of ground. Nathan Baird in the number 40, but the second straight lap where we've seen an incident off of turn 11. These Cup cars have such a difficult time getting through there. You see Kukulon with damage, Lucas Jacobson all torn up, Trey Bartow, All-Star Race winner Nathan Stapleton was the first guy to go around, and then Tristan Allen. He's going to be down for the day in number 3.
Now here's what I don't get. I've noticed in the background of the front stretch, Seth Cole just came in and pitted. I don't know why he decided to do that. If he stays out, he gains so many spots.
You know, he has damage to his race car from the prior incident. And he's coming in to repair it.
That's true, but still, he could have gained all those spots.
They needed to repair that damage, otherwise it could have gotten a lot worse. That happens here a lot at Watkins Glen. We've got a pass for the lead. Julius Anderson was able to get it there on Silas Orta. You have to watch out for Matt Dalio. If there is anybody in this field that is hungry for a race victory, it is him. It's been over 2 years since he's won a race on Napa Fan. I mean, he's got an opportunity right ahead of him here, and he's had a lot of opportunities, but has not been able to capitalize on any of them. But this might be the shot. Of course, there are 2 teams running up front right now, Beast Racing and Otter Island Motorsports, who both trying to get their first wins of the season with 2 of their drivers. And right now they're doing a good job. Silas Orta might get a run back to the inside of Julius Anderson entering turn 11. Anderson's going to go wide, and there goes Silas Orta trying to get to the inside.
Ooh,
oh boy! Orta is going to deny Anderson at the line. I just think that could be the finish of the race. And strategy already. Mark Davidson's down the pit lane with Mitchell Henderson. So this is going to be a 2-stop race most likely for these guys. Things getting very interesting out here at Watkins Glen, just like it was last year. No issues off of turn 11 that time. But we had all these guys who are still on the racetrack. Hopefully they can get back to the pit lane before race leaders run into them here, but this is a bit of an issue right now. But either way, get back to the race lead, and Anderson was able to get back around Silas Orta as he had the outside lane through turn number 1.
Yeah, definitely. I think he used some of that runoff. That's his advantage, but look at this. Matt Dalio has decided to enter this fight for the lead. You can put 3 cars under a blanket entering the boot.
Top 3 have pulled away from 4th place. Diego Yepes, Ace Garcia as well. Of course, we had some guys who had come down the pit lane. Mark Davidson was one of those guys, and Mitchell Henderson, and they were up front. So I'd expect some of these guys to come down soon. Julius Anderson, Silas Orta, Matt Dalio. We haven't seen pit stops the entire race weekend. This is the only race the entire race weekend that has pit stops. So it could get very interesting on the strategy for these guys. And could definitely create a very interesting race like it did last year here at Watkins Glen.
Actually, in the boot now, it looks like Anderson's going to stay on that defensive low line here to try and protect it. I remember him the last time that he tried to do that. Anderson got very tight off the corner, but he gets a little bit tight here once again, or may have a run to the inside.
He's been doing that quite a bit, but Anderson will finally get a bonus point towards the championship. Now Christian Master, Garrett Zanor coming down. And Orta to the inside. Trying to take the race lead away from Julius Anderson.
Man.
Get the inside through the S's and get it, but that outside lane is where you want to be through turn 1. The thing is, the inside is where you want to be through other corners, so it's a very unique racetrack, which is why these guys stay so close to each other throughout the entire race. But we'll have to see how this strategy works out for Mitchell Henderson and Mark Davidson. Davidson has actually fallen behind Mitchell Henderson there. But I see these guys coming down the pit lane. Garrett Zanor, Christian Master, they were not involved in accidents. And they have made their pit stops. But, of course, you had Andrew Ross there. I think he was involved in that big accident with Nathan Stapleton earlier on. And so a lot of guys out here on the racetrack looking to get this race victory. Take a look and see who is knocked out at this point. Seth Cole is actually still on the racetrack. Tristan Allen, Trey Bartow, Nathan Stapleton, and the 13 is Sebastian Kukulon. I believe Andrew Ross is just recently wrecked, and Lucas Jacobson as well. All with major issues so far in this race. But I think Andrew Ross has recently wrecked, so we'll have to see if that affects him. I'm wondering, too, Mark Davidson and Mitchell Henderson might be going on a 3-stop strategy. Do you think that's a good idea, or should it go 2 stops here at Watkins Glen?
Well, you know, if they go with 3-stop strategy here, they are able to push all out, and then those drivers that are going with the 2-stop strategy, they have to conserve their tires and make sure they can, and conserve their fuel and make sure they go the distance.
I would expect these guys to come down right here. Julius Anderson, Silas Orta, Matt Dalio. I always hold my breath as they come to the pit lane here because they sometimes can't figure it out. But looks pretty good at this point, knock on wood. Looks like everyone in the lead pack's going to get through it just fine and avoid hitting that inside wall. And you know what? I think Nathan Baird stayed out. I do not believe Baird has come down the pit lane yet, but here we go. This is going to be the main strategy. We're going to focus with these guys, see who wins the race off the pit lane. It was Silas Orta right behind Julius Anderson and then Matt Dalio in third. And it's a very tight pit lane right now. Dalio and Anderson get off. Silas Orta with an issue, a little bit slow. He's going to lose the position right there. Brad Stover's going to drive right by him. And here comes Christian Master in the 7. Going to take the race lead away from Julius Anderson. He came a lap before Anderson did. Watch out for Garrett Sonor. He's going to end up in the top 10 as he came down with Christian Master as well. Lap 6 of 15. There will be another pit stop in this race, so keep that in mind.
Master pulling out some good strategy right now. Short pitting before the leaders all pit, and that helped him get ahead. And obviously as well, a faster pit stop, and he had all that clean air, but all these other drivers had that dirty air.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the strategy goes. It could end up being a 3-stop race for these guys, and I think it usually plays out that way. I think they go with the second cycle about 2 to 3 laps, so they usually don't have an issue on fuel here. Garrett Sonor did a pretty good job. I think he gained a lot of positions, but it's going to be a very interesting race to see who gets the advantage on the strategy, because you got to think, Master got the race lead, but he didn't pull away by that much, and Anderson could easily close back in because he's going to have slightly fresher tires than the number 7 here. Nathan Baird is finally coming down the pit lane. I don't think he's going to lead a lap, so he's not going to get a bonus point there, but that was a very interesting strategy out of the number 40 team, trying to get to the race lead, and they are the points leader by 71 points. They want to keep that. The thing is, they have that cushion to be able to try something different here to possibly get those good finishes. Master a little wide off the corner, same with Anderson and Dalio. They're all hitting those rumble strips right now, as their tires are pretty cold at this point. But it's now Christian Master leading the field in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. What do you make of this race so far, Marty? A lot of interesting things going on the racetrack.
We've seen a lot of good battles up front early on, then the pit stops really determined how this race could change, and we've seen this. Now we're seeing the 7 of Christian Master pretty much pulling away as well. I think from that.
22.
I'm sorry, the 22. Yeah, Anderson. It looked like to me for a moment a 40. I was looking at the leaderboard, not the actual stuff on the racetrack.
Yeah, so it's about 2 seconds ahead of Julius Anderson right now. Matt Dalio about 3.5 seconds behind. And you got Brad Stover and Silas Orta, the top 5 at the moment. But if you remember last year's race, they were actually separated in the middle portion of the race. And then by the time they got to the finish, they were all on each other. And Nathan Baird pulled one of the best strategies I've ever seen anyone play, because he got himself inside the top 15, I do believe. He's with all these guys right now. He's got to be careful not to get involved in an accident. We saw that happen yesterday with a championship contender. You know how it can affect the championship. You got to think, Emily Anderson's right here. And Anderson's just got to be hating it, because, you know, Nathan Baird is the guy she's trying to chase with points, and he's now ahead of her on the racetrack. That is exactly what Emily Anderson does not want to see in this championship battle. But Nathan Baird's got to be careful here. He could possibly wreck. We saw it happen yesterday. We might see it again here today. You just never know. Anderson closed in quite a bit that lap. And here's that treacherous turn 11. Matt Dalio took a defensive line into the corner. But most guys seem to be, you know, taking the corner pretty well. Caesar, a little wide there, and he has some damage to his machine.
Uh-oh, John R goes way... Whoa!
Yeah, that was a hard hit for Mitchell Henderson. And he got shuffled out of line, and he hit the pit road wall directly. And he is out of the race.
We saw that back in Richmond in the New Era Cup Series. Matt Tuck even though Matt Tuck actually came in, he came in way too hot and literally drove through the attenuator.
Ouch. That's all I gotta say. That's a tough break for Mitchell Henderson, and Nathan Baird is 14th. And the thing is, too, there aren't many guys left on the lead. Well, that's not really correct. We still have 35 guys on the lead lap, but, I mean, Nathan Baird, man, might as well just hand him the trophy now. The way he has been racing these past few races have been unbelievable. I mean, it's been so consistent every single race for that single-car team, Kinghart Family Enterprises. Or Kinghart Family Racing, I should say. And for the race lead, Julius Anderson was able to catch up to Christian Master and take it away.
You know, I've been watching Anderson on this in these cars. On worn tires, in my opinion, I think Anderson's got the much better car.
He might. He's definitely got a fast car, but you can't count out Dahlia right now. How about this? Top 3 all Toyotas. That's quite an interesting scenario right there, I believe.
Wait a second. Is that 7 maybe coming in potentially?
It could
Nope,
be.
he's not.
Nope, not now. They take an odd line into that corner sometimes. Here comes Matt Dahlia trying to make a move on Christian Master. I'm really concerned. I think they came in lap 5. I think their idea is to stretch it past lap 10. Try to make it to like lap 11 so they can go it on one more stop. I think that's what they did last year. They have a very odd strategy. They come in early and they come in later. Their second stint is longer than their first stint here at Watkins Glen. But that's just the way the strategy goes here on this road course. But Julius Anderson's the guy to beat here today, I think. Because you saw the way he closed in on Christian Master. He was 2 seconds behind at one point, and he is now passing him for the race lead.
Yeah, I think Master's car is trying to fade back. Here comes that 79 of Dahlia.
Dahlia's a guy you got to watch out for here today
lap.
as well. I think Dahlia's going to have a very good chance of this race victory. If he can get around Christian Master here, he's going to have something for Julius Anderson. And Brad Stover as well. Brad Stover is another really good driver. I think a 9-time winner on Napa Fan, and he's only been racing since the end of 2017. So you know Stover's good. Of course, he's good over on your end too. So we'll have to see. They're all, you can tell, they're all stuck behind Master here. Dahlia's finally going to get to the inside, but they lost so much ground. The Julius Anderson there, and Dahlia actually couldn't get the run to the inside of Master. And now Stover for third on Matt Dahlia.
And now Silas Order enters the party, and this is what Christian Master once again wants to see, as he is pretty much gone.
Julius Anderson pulling away with this race lead. And it's going to be well over a second this time by, and that's just because these guys got stuck behind Christian Master. Dahlia's got to be careful here on this lap. He's going to be on the outside lane in turn 11. Master is coming down the pit lane. Stover and Dahlia bumping with each other. Sam Medeo also down, but remember he has damage from a prior accident. There's Christian Master coming down, and Garrett Sonor as well. I'll have to see how those guys fare, because I don't know if they're going to be able to make it to the end. But these guys, oh, we got another one!
Oh, big wreck! Is that?
Not a big wreck. It was just Alexander Rose spinning around. But Mark Davidson also with issues in number 95. I mean, this place eats you up. This should be called the Monster 3.4 miles, really. This place is treacherous. One of the most treacherous places we go on the circuit.
And look at the battle for... This is
How about Silas Orta? He's found his way up to second.
Holy cow!
And Stover's fallen back to 5th. But Julius Anderson has the lead by over 3 seconds at this point. Dahlia will finally clear to the second position. And I think Dahlia has something for Julius Anderson, but he's going to have to work some strategy here to be able to get to the number 22 machine. It will be 5 laps to go next time by. I don't know if they're going to come down now or what. But,
if
guys...
I don't know. Would I say perhaps maybe 2 tires and a full tank?
That might work out. You're going to need a full tank. I know that much. But I will say, I believe Master and Sonor, they initially came down lap 4, they made it to lap 10. So that's 6 laps right there. So that means that these guys should be able to make it after this cycle of pit stops. Silas Orr trying to make a move right here. And here we go. Final set of the day. Going to be 5 laps to go. Oh, Anderson's going to come in, and Dahlia's going to stay out. And you saw what happened with Julius Anderson that last run. Anderson was able to surpass Christian Master eventually. I think that's what Dahlia's going to try to do. He's going to want those fresher tires for a little bit longer compared to Julius Anderson to get the advantage. That is the key.
Absolutely.
Because that's exactly what happened the last time. The guys who came in later got the advantage on Master, and you saw what happened with Master. He was falling off tremendously. Anderson, I believe, is going to go 4 tires right there, so he's going all out. He knows he's going to have to pack that thing full of fuel as well. Well, these guys should be able to make it to the end. Dahlia with a lap lead. That might just be his first lap lead of the season. I don't know. But he's going to lead lap number 10 with Silas Orta. Patrick Smith, your pick to win in 3rd. Brad Stover in 4th. And this is exactly how it looked like last year. We had 4 guys in the battle for the race lead right near the end of the race. And it might be shaping up to have 5 guys in the battle for the lead here at Watkins Glen.
Gonna be a good fight.
It will be. So Julius Anderson off. He's well ahead of Christian Master. We'll have to see. Anderson could just pull away with this thing at this point because, you know, if he pulled the strategy right now, here's the thing. What do you do if you're Matt Daly? If you take 2 tires on your next stop, you're going to be able to surpass Anderson, but can you hold him off is the question. Anderson might have to save a little bit of fuel. What do you want to do if you're Matt Dalio?
I would go 2 tires. I'd go 2 tires here because, you know, Watkins Glen is primarily a course that's full of straightaways. Not really one of those harder courses that has turns as they all come down pit road here. Oh, contact Stover and
Patrick Smith. That might affect Stover a little bit. And Stover was a guy who could have easily won this race. Yeah, I believe he's got a little bit of damage in the number 99 machine. That's a tough break for Brad Stover. Gotta watch out for Nathan Baird as well because, you know, he started deep in the field and he's already inside the top 15 after that strategy he played. We're going to follow with Dalio here in number 79. He's going to go ahead and take some left sides here. I'm wondering if these guys are going to go 4 tires. If I'm Dalio, I'm coming out now, but he's going to go ahead and take 4. They know how important those tires are. We'll have to see how easy Matt Dalio can get out of the pit lane here. He's going to get out right here. He'll be the first driver off. No, he will not. Silas Ford is going to get it. But Julius Anderson driving through turn number 1 right here. And so is Christian Master. Dalio able to get out ahead of Silas Orta. Dalio's going to be 3rd.
Now watch these drivers here that are exiting pit road. It could cause maybe an accident, maybe in the S's. I'm not too sure.
Everything looks clean at this point. Sonor's on the same strategy as Master. I don't know if those 2 guys can make it to the end, but Julius Anderson might have pulled the best strategy, but his tires are worn from that first lap there, and Dalio is going to have a fast set there, and he was able to get around Silas Orta there. It's a really good run there for Matt Dalio off the pit lane. And you got to remember, too, there's that final corner, turn 11. The race leader last year on the final lap hit that outside wall. It could happen again. You just never know when you come to Watkins Glen. I really do think Christian Master will have to come down the pit lane again, but I do believe Anderson should be able to be good to go to the end. So, I'm going to ask you once again, Marty, who do you think is going to win this race here at Watkins Glen?
I got to go with Matt Dalio here. He's got one of the best cars out here. I think Anderson's tires are going to get shot with about 2 to go, maybe. We'll just have to see what happens. Hoping for the best.
Dalio's probably about 5 seconds behind the number 22 at this point. So I really don't know if he's going to have any advantage at closing in on Anderson, but Anderson can drive easy at this point, so this could go to Hamill Racing Enterprises once again. But Anderson, oh, he's wide. Drove it pretty well, and look at who is inside the top 10 now. Nathan Baird.
Wow.
Up to 5th.
Oh, contact in the wall of Stover!
Stover got a bit of damage there as he got hit by Roger Ray. But I cannot believe what Nathan Baird has been doing here in this series. This is just unbelievable. He's going to pull away so much in this championship. There's just not going to be a battle anymore. But he's hit the outside wall in this, or he's hit something in this race. I know that much. But how about that for Nathan Baird? Such a great run for him, and if these guys happen to close in, we'll have to see what the gap ends up being between Dalio and Anderson this next time. It almost seems like Anderson's pulling away right now from Matt Dalio.
Yeah, surprisingly, the gap was 2 seconds of the line. I'm very interested to see the gap.
That was between Anderson and Master.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, it was... If I were to get, it says on there 6 seconds. When they come to the line, I'd probably guess maybe 4 or 5.
We'll have to see if Dalio can close in at all, or if Anderson has to come down the pit lane again. You got to think that is very possible too, because came with 5 laps to go. He should be able to make it. There's no reason why he can't, but I would be expecting Master here very soon. I don't think Master's going to be able to make it to the end.
He's got to save a lot of gas right now, and it's tough at Watkins going to save fuel. Especially going up the S's and up the end of the boot.
So Julius Anderson coming to 2 laps to go on the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K, going for his first win of the season in the outside wall. That's going to slow his momentum down just a little bit. Master stayed out. Dalio with a clean lap right there. It's little mistakes like that that could take Anderson out of contention. That last time around, he closed in a second. Dalio closed in an entire second. Fisher G hit the outside wall hard. He is falling back. And you got to think, too, Dalio's tires are just slightly better than Julius Anderson right now. So Dalio can get through that corner better than anybody at this point.
Who's that in pit road? Because if he's playing, if he pits at the near same time as Christian
I believe that
Master,
might be that's Roger Ray. I don't know if he came down for damage or not. Of course, Seth Cole's also involved in accidents earlier on. Tough break for Jesse Turner in this race. Of course, has a lake effect car and couldn't put them up front, unfortunately. Of course, our pole sitter Mark Davidson's had a tough day. Been deep in the field most of this run. He's right now 31st. But this is going to get interesting here. Even Master might close in, and if Master battles with Anderson, that might open the door for Dalio. But it's still a huge, huge gap between Julius Anderson and Matt Dalio, and I really, really don't think that he's going to close in. But Master might have a shot if he can stretch it to the end. So Julius Anderson has led the most laps today. He's going to get another bonus point towards the championship for that. Of course, the big story, I think, is Nathan Baird.
Yeah,
up to the 5th position after starting deep in the field. He is going to extend his points lead, possibly even into the hundreds.
Yeah.
We have never seen that kind of dominance before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Here we go. White flag. Anderson's making sure this time he can go through the corner well, and Master's going to try to make it here. So white flag in the air for Julius Anderson. And that time, Dalio closed in about half a second there. So only unless something drastic happens to Julius Anderson, Anderson is going to win here today at Watkins Glen. A very good strategy by that team to get him out front there. Came in a lap before the rest of the field, and he ended up opening the gap on the rest of the field. That might give him the race victory for the first time this season. It might be his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory as well if he can get it. So Christian Master in second, Matt Dalio, Salas Orta. There's a pass. Alonso up to 5th on our points leader, Nathan Baird. Got Brad Stover there, Patrick Smith, Garrett Sonor in the top 10, and Ace Garcia rounding out the top 10 here at Watkins Glen. Back to the race leader. And there is no lap traffic in between him and the start-finish line at this point, so as long as he can race everything cleanly, he's going to get the race victory. If something happens to him, Christian Master is in the catbird seat to take home the victory, but I don't think that's going to happen. And Julius Anderson for Hamill Racing Enterprises will give Hamill Racing Enterprises their 2nd straight win in a row here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And the strategy played out very well for Anderson in this race. And he is going to be awarded the victory at Watkins Glen. Off of the final corner, Julius Anderson will win the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. For the 22nd race of the season, number 22 is in victory lane. Christian Master in second, Matt Dalio, Salas Orta, and Herja Larvin Alonso in the top 5. Nathan Baird will finish 7th. And there's just nobody in that championship contention who closed into him. Nobody at all. How about Julius Anderson? First win of the season. And he did so in a very good fashion there as well, as able to play the strategy near the end just right to pull away and take home the race victory. There are the official standings of the race. You got Julius Anderson, the race winner. Christian Master, Matt Dalio, Salas Orta, Herja Larvin Alonso, Brad Stover, Nathan Baird, Patrick Smith, Ace Garcia, and Garrett Sonor, the top 10. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. We had all those accidents that happened earlier on. We're going to go ahead and review a couple of those. First lap of the race, second lap of the race, all those guys got caught up in things and didn't work out too well for them. But after all that, after the first 5 laps, everything pretty much stayed the same. And everyone was able to race a pretty clean race. But how about that race, Marty? Very interesting what happened there near the end. Wasn't quite the finish we had last year, but it was still very interesting here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, absolutely. Julius Anderson had the best car out here overall today. We thought for a moment Matt Dahlia was going to fight back with fresher tires. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and Anderson just had the best car all day, especially with those worn tires.
So Julius Anderson, the race winner. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out, well, what would have brought out the caution if we had cautions here at Watkins Glen. And this was the first accident on the first lap of the race. Carter Friesen just slid it into Seth Cole right there and collected Nicholas Samadeo. Both of those guys, I think, eventually failed to finish, but tough break for those guys in the first lap of the race. And this is what happened here to Nathan Stapleton. Wide off the corner. Got into Fitzwater. Fitzwater with damage, and then he came back up on Kukulon Lucas Jacobson, and he was spinning like a top right there. And all of that mess. And I think that might have been where Nathan Baird possibly got his damage, and that's where Tristan Allen got a lot of his damage. And he actually popped the corner off of his race car right there. Had to deal with that the entire day. Carter Friesen. Bit of a savage today. Did the same thing. Oh, and he ended up getting it there with Andrew Ross, and Nicholas Samadeo was trying to come down the pit lane and ran in to Carter Friesen. So yeah, that's what happened there, and we saw exactly what happened to Mitchell Henderson later on in the race, so no need to replay that, but there's your eventual race winner, Julius Anderson, getting it done here at Watkins Glen. So there are the official standings once again, and next week we're going to head to the Rockingham Motor Speedway, Rockingham, UK. That's always a fun race there on that square-shaped racetrack, but it will be the final race we have there at the Rockingham Motor Speedway, so I'm going to pay tributes to that race right there. It's been in the schedule since Season 2, and hopefully we end it with a good one. And, oh boy, the points. I don't know if you guys want to see him. Nathan Baird wants to see him, but nobody else does, because he's probably a good 100 points ahead at this point. But I'm going to ask you, Marty, will anybody get to Nathan Baird before the end of the season?
I don't think so. As long as if Nathan Baird just keeps remaining consistent like he's been all season, I don't think we will. I think we have Nathan Baird as new champion of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series in a few weeks. We'll just have to see.
We will have to see. It might be less than a few weeks from now when we crown the champion, but a lot can happen between now and Homestead. 6 races left and 6 very unique racetracks as well. It's got Talladega, shoved in there too, and that's always a place you gotta watch out for. So, hope you guys stick around. I mean, don't blame me if you're not watching, because this has been probably one of the worst seasons ever. But either way, Julius Anderson, the race winner here at Watkins Glen. And if you want a good championship battle, 2 weeks from now at the Pocono Raceway, the Haas World Championship 100, it is going to be fun. Just watch it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great finale, so I hope you guys stick around for that. But congratulations to Julius Anderson. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Marty, for joining me for this race. Glad you stuck in there and did your home race there. And yeah, we will see you guys next week from the Rockingham Motor Speedway in the MRO 401. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the points for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and I will see you guys later.